the Ford Thunderbird is undoubtedly a very legendary car. First introduced in 1955, the car was in production for 42 years, until the end of the 1997 model year, spawning 10 different generations of personal luxury vehicles. That's apparently a market car sales term thing. There was also a weird 2001 to 2005 iteration of the car, but we don't talk about that here. Originally built as a 2-seater convertible, the car was quickly offered as a 4-seater hardtop variant as well, among others like 4-seater convertibles. There was even a 4-door version offer in the late 60s 5th generation of the car, but that was discontinued for the 6th gen, being on sale starting in 1972. Now, the T-Bird was first run in NASCAR in 1959 by legendary drivers like Cotton Owens or Curtis Turner, winning some races, but despite the initial success these drivers had at the helm of their birds, most Ford teams switched back to the larger Galaxy and later in the 60s and 70s Torino models. For the next decade and a half, the T-Bird was only used every now and then by mostly smaller teams, but it made its big comeback in 1977 when Ford discontinued the previous blue oval car of choice, the aforementioned Torino and Torino Talladega. While the first generation of NASCAR T-Birds from 1977 until 1982 was rather boxy and uncompetitive, hence the nickname Boxy Bird, the only teams that achieved noteworthy success with the car were Bud Moore's legendary number 15 with Bobby Allison at the helm, and to a lesser extent Julie Donleavy's number 90 car with drivers such as Dick Brooks, Ricky Rudd or Jody Ridley, who won a race in 1981 at Doom. Interestingly, Bill Elliott scored his first win at Riverside in 1983 in a Boxy Bird as well. Speaking of Bill Elliott, in 1983 Ford introduced a new bird which was a lot more aerodynamic, and boy did it fly fast. It showed glimpses of speed in its first 2 seasons, but in 1985 Austin Bill from Dawsonville in his Harry Melling-owned Ford destroyed the field that year. He had 11 wins in a 28 race season. He captured not only his first Daytona 500, but the first ever, and only one of 2, Winston $1 million, earning him the nickname $1 Million Bill by winning 3 of the 4 crown jewels in NASCAR. With the other ones he won the Southern 500 and the Winston 500 at Talladega, where he blitzed the field to come back from 2 laps down with an oil pump issue under green to win the race. In 1987, Bill posted another record, which stands to this day, which is the fastest ever speed in NASCAR, with a lap at Talladega of 212 miles an hour on average, which was one of his 6 consecutive poles at the track, which started in 1985. With the days of unlimited speed at super speedways gone in 1988, this is a record that still stands today, as I said, and it will likely never be broken. $1 Million Bill won himself a title driving the Bird in 1988, but his time as the man flying the colors for Ford neared the end. By that time, the flag bearers of the 90s had arrived in the coupler. Alan Kulwicki, Davey Allison and Mark Martin were starting to win races on a regular basis, especially Allison and Martin, with Martin challenging Dale Earnhardt's throne in 1990, and the most legendary season for the Thunderbird came in 1992. We all know how it ended, Alan Kulwicki famously winning a championship driving his own rebranded Thunderbird, because he's an underdog, beating out the dominant drivers of Bill Elliott and Davey Allison that season. Looking at the stats though, this is as good as it got. The 4 drivers were involved in title fights, Rusty Wallace seemingly winning every race at the short tracks left and right, and good luck finding your way past Mark Martin on the road course. But there's not a lot you can do if you race against Prime Earnhardt or Jeff Gordon. Ford gave the T-Bird one final facelift on and off the track in 1996, but ended production and its racing career with the conclusion of 1997. But the car went out on a high. Mark Martin and Dale Jarrett won a combined 11 races in the T-Bird, with the former winning the fastest race ever run by NASCAR at a caution-free race at Talladega, and the latter finishing the championship behind Wonderboy by only 14 points. Switch was made to the, rather hideous Taurus for the following season, and while it improved on the T-Bird's aerodynamic numbers, smaller teams stuck it out for the T-Bird on aero-dependent tracks, weirdly, which were the restrictor plate tracks. Jimmy Spencer, for example, ran the Ford Thunderbird as late as the 1998 move to October race at Daytona. Now, we end our little history lesson here just before takeoff for the T-Bird's last flight. Its last race in NASCAR, the 1999 Budweiser Shootout, driven by Rick Mast. And with that, I thank future me for this beautiful introduction, a little history lesson on the Ford Thunderbird in NASCAR. I haven't done this yet. I'm doing the race before that. And once again, hello and welcome from the track for the Birds' last flight. 1999 Budweiser shootout, 15 drivers, 20 laps. Got a couple of big names in the field like Jeff Gordon, Dale Jarrett, Mark Martin.
Coming to the green. Let's go get him.
A couple of guys you don't expect really. Like Rick Mast, who we're driving as. Or Ricky Craven, who is in that 58 car just ahead of us as the green flag is out. Ernie Irvin there in his final shootout. And a couple of guys missing. Dale Earnhardt is not in this field. Because he didn't... His last pole was in 1996 in Watkins Glen. It's been a while. So, Earnhardt's not in this field. It's the first time I think he missed a shootout because he wasn't fastest in the second round qualifying in any of the races in 98 either. So, he didn't qualify. Yeah, this is the Busch shootout. Was won by Mark Martin in real life. And
outside.
I want to use this race.
Still outside. All clear.
Just kind of chat about the Ford Thunderbirds last race here, I guess, and just talk racing in general. Just talk about this channel in general.
Still outside.
So first things first. Caliabro Motorsports. Essentially the team I'm driving for here, the team Rick Mast drove for, and the Thunderbirds last race was for. Essentially shut down in after 1998, then surprisingly came back for 1999, and they didn't have, because Mast was in the, Mast was silent and Mast was in the shootout, so they came to Daytona with a Ford Thunderbird, because I don't know, they didn't have a Super Speedway Taurus ready. Don't know the exact backstory. But because Budweiser, who was sponsoring Wally Dallenbach in the 25 car, Hendrick Motorsports, wasn't in the race because Dallenbach didn't have a pole or was fastest in any of the second round qualifying sessions in 98. But obviously 98 team needed a sponsor. They had a plain red car, so it was just fitting that they had Budweiser on the car. And so Mast set out in one final race in Cup competition in the T-Bird. It was probably then a 2 to 3 year old chassis, or 2 to 3 year old car. Chassis might be a little bit older, but body was a 96, 97 style T-Bird. He actually led laps 2 through 6. And then lap 8, and finished 8th or something. I don't know the exact numbers, but I just looked it up, but I already forgot. And so we're making this a little last first challenge here, and trying to get Mast to win. Because surprisingly, the T-Bird was fast in that race for some reason. Everybody says the Taurus was had an aerodynamic advantage, but apparently the Thunderbird was still good on the play tracks. Even in 1998, when the T-Bird was out there, Roush Racing had when the Taurus was released, basically. Roush Racing had Chad Little run the Daytona 500 in a T-Bird. Robert Presley ran the plate races in a Thunderbird, and I remember Jimmy Spencer's 23 car also ran a Thunderbird in the second Daytona race, if I'm not mistaken. Don't know if they had the Thunderbird out for Talladega or the 500. I don't think so. So the Thunderbird was the choice of many of the smaller teams in 98 for the play tracks, and then pretty much only for the back markers, like Stan Hoover's team brought a Thunderbird to Daytona and failed to qualify with it. And the 98 team actually had the Taurus then ready for the Daytona 500. Trailing Mark Martin. I thought it was going to cut down there, that's why I lifted. Going to push me up the racetrack. It's going to open the door for Rusty Wallace. And now to the more serious. Is it serious? I don't know. There hasn't been any videos in the last couple of weeks. As we're going backwards here on that outside line. Yeah, the outside line's never good. Shout out to my friend Ash.
Still there, inside.
No, there haven't been any uploads because I just didn't feel like making any videos. As I said earlier in the year, ooh, so we're getting a good run. Slight contact there with Jeff Gordon, but apparently no wreck.
Keep digging.
Gonna show you a replay of that in a minute. But what I want to say is really I've just not felt like making any videos or making generally any videos for a championship season. I think it was bumping here. Because I don't know. My big issue with championship seasons right now is for making videos, you're gonna commit to something that's gonna be really, really long. NASCAR seasons are about 30 to 36 races, depends on which year in the modern era. I'm not gonna do anything that was before 1970, 71 with 40, 50 races per season. So we're going for the lead here in our T-Bird. I just don't want to commit to something that's going to be for about. It's going to take us about a year to complete. And I don't know. I kind of feel like it prevents me from doing other stuff because I want to get things done, if you know what I mean. And so if I did other videos in between, we'll be there for a year and a half for one single championship, and that's just not something I want to do. So yeah, I don't think there will be any championship seasons in the. I might change my mind. I like to change my mind a lot. But right now, I don't think I will continue any of the championship. Well, the only championship I'm still running is the 2022 career mode thing, of which I have recorded Martinsville. That was over after 5 minutes because my engine blew up while running in top 5. For some reason, the engine just stopped running on the backstretch. So if I was to continue that with the Bristol Dirt Race, that will be up next. We'll be getting another double episode. I don't know if and when that's going to come out. But yeah, for now there's not going to be any championship stuff. I think I'm going to do a video on the Brickyard 400 because that's, that has its 30th anniversary this year, later that year, and I think I'm going to do a video on that.
10 laps to go, this time by
And what I thought about was maybe doing a final race. Also like a little history rundown like we did here for the Nazareth Speedway, which held its final NASCAR race, or its final race in general I think, in 2004 in the Busch Series, which was 20 years ago. So kind of, a little bit of historic content I guess coming up. And these are pretty much the only 2 videos I have planned right now. I've been doing lots and lots of plate racing on NR 2003, and so I just thought, let's try this style of video. It's more, I guess, a little bit of GP Labs-esque stuff, with a little history in the beginning, and then, the race and just chit-chatting, I guess. Just want to see, how that works on the channel, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much the update. It was kind of the announcement of nothing. So yeah, see how that goes. Kenny Schrader was looking there on the inside. We're good at I'm really good at holding people off at Daytona. That's quite easy to do, I feel like, in the game. Just gotta wait until someone comes on the inside and passes them, and then you got a little bit of breathing room. There's Kenny Irvin trying it. But our bird is flying, and it's flying fast. I'm washing up the racetrack a little bit here.
Inside.
That's going to enable Mark Martin to get to our inside.
Still there. Inside.
Just have to find a hole. Which will come up here in a little bit. We're going to go to the end of the line probably here. So we have Jarrett and Martin.
Still there.
Hamilton, Labonte, there's Skinner coming as well. That 31 car.
Still there. Inside. All clear.
Yeah, there was Mayfield coming as well. I didn't want to go down there.
Still there.
We're going to go to the back of the line here.
Still there.
Come on, Burton, get past me.
All clear.
To the inside again. They have to mount a charge once more, but I think you can't do that. Still got some laps to go. I think 6 or 7. Almost made contact there with the 22. I think I got into him slightly.
Outside.
Having to lift.
Still there. 5 to go.
5 laps to go only, okay.
Take care of it. Still outside.
We can do that.
Still outside.
We can do that. I can see the cars a little bit. I really have to work the wheel. It's not handling very well, but it's fast. That's pretty much what counts here at this track. Now there's Mike Skinner trying for the lead, but nobody's going with him. Now there's Burton going down. We're obviously staying on the inside, so Mike Skinner now going for the lead in the butt shootout. Coming up on 4 laps to go. We get the run. We can't really use it because Burton's slowing up.
Get that rhythm, man. Let's go get these boys.
Making 3 wide, can't go below the line in this year. Up to second. 3 wide. God dang it. Car work. Now they're 3 wide behind me here. I think we can get the run. Yes, we have the run. Let's see if I think that's the 58 Ricky Craven behind me. If he can help me, as he does. Get the run, slide tap on the apron there. I'm trying to get the car to turn. I think it's handling better in 3 and 4 than it does in 1 and 2 for some odd reason. But I'm taking it. Coming up on 3 to go, back in the lead. And our Thunderbird.
That was a veteran move right there, buddy. That was awesome. You're doing a great job.
Coming up on the white flag and the lap car of Ernie Irvin there, who lost the draft. Or was he on pit lane? I don't know. White flag in the air one more time around.
That's what I'm talking about, buddy. White flag.
And Ernie Irvin could give us the win here if we do it correctly, but we're going to approach him. We're going to close in on him here in 3 and 4. So we're going to the outside. Going past him.
Still there.
He's going to hold some guys up.
All clear.
And we did it same way Earnhardt did it. Earnhardt used the lap car of Rick Mast as a pick in 1998 to win the Daytona 500. We used the lap car of Ernie Irvin as a pick to come out of turn number 4 onto the front stretch, the tri-oval checkered flag. The Thunderbird wins the 1999 Budweiser shootout.
Boy, that's what
From
I'm
I think it's Ken Schrader in second. Behind me. Indeed it is. Bobby Labonte, Jeff Gordon, who we had a little bump in earlier. Kenny Irvin rounds out top 5. Ward Burton, Jeremy Mayfield, Bobby Hamilton, Ricky Craven, Rusty Wallace, Dale Jarrett, Mike Skinner, Mark Martin, the eventual winner. Derek Cope, who also lost the draft 30 seconds, and then Ernie Irvin a lap down. I think Irvin might have gone to pit lane. Not sure about that. But we're gonna obviously go and give the Thunderbird a worthy send-off here.
Caution down, caution down, caution down. Keep taking
Rusty
down.
Wallace
Good
almost
job,
collects me
buddy,
there.
Good job. Drove your butt off, buddy. Good job.
Having a little fun here in the Daytona infield. Whoops. And with that, I thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. And I'll see you whenever I will see you, truly. I don't know. Probably at Nazareth Speedway in 2004. I don't know. Yeah, thanks for watching. And have a great day, have a great week wherever you may be in the world. And goodbye.